Hey guys, in this section we're going to install an all-around security plugin for WordPress, which I would definitely recommend for basically any WordPress site. It's called Better WP Security, and it's free and very powerful. So we'll say Better WP Security for WordPress. Alright, so there's a ton of functionality that comes with this component. You can see, look at over here, 2,300 5-star ratings. Alright, so this is a very powerful component. So let's go ahead and download that. Okay, so that's done downloading. So I'm opening the zip file, and we're just going to install this plugin through FTP. So I'm going to go to my blog directory. This is where my WordPress install is. And then we want to go to WP content and then plugins. And just simply drag that folder over. You can see there's quite a bit of content in this file. Alright, so now let's go to our site. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Alright, so we did upload the plugin. Now we have to enable it. So let's go to plugins. And you should see the Better WP Security plugin. So we want to activate that. And once that's activated, you should see a security link right here. And this is where you can do pretty much everything. Now, it's asking us to create a database backup before we go any further. And you don't have to, but it's a good idea to. So just click on the Create Database Backup, and it takes a quick backup and stores it for you. And now you can see all these links here, and each of these links allow us to do different kinds of security functionality. The dashboard, let's see, one-click protection. The button below will turn on the basic features of Better WP Security. We don't want to do that. We could just have it automatically configured, but I want to do the configuration myself just so we can go through all this, okay? Now there's a lot of different information here with different color codes, and some of these things will leave and some of these things will change. The first one says we're not enforcing strong passwords. I'm not exactly sure why it's saying that. Let's check it out, because my password is very secure. Okay, so I guess it's just an option for strong password enforcement. And now that I think about it, I believe that this is when someone else is creating an account, it's going to make them store a strong password. So it won't accept easy passwords. So let's enable that. That's fine. Save changes. Okay, so now if we go back to the dashboard, let's see, you're enforcing strong passwords, but not for all users. Okay, let's check that out again. Let's see, write WordPress core files. There's just a ton of stuff here, and it can be a little overwhelming. But I would suggest that you just take it slow and go through each thing that you want to change. Your WordPress header is showing too much information to users. So let's check that out. So if we check this, it'll remove the RSD header, or the really simple discovery header. And this just shows information about your site. But you see here there's a warning because it can cause conflicts with some third-party applications. So if you have a bunch of different plugins and modules or whatever on your WordPress website, you might not want to enable this, but we don't. We're just using pretty much a stock site, so we can choose to remove that information. Alright, so let's go back to the dashboard. Here, this one here says the admin user has been removed, and it says that because we didn't choose to use admin as our username, which is a big security risk. So that's why it's green and it doesn't have a link, because that's all set. Here it says we have a user with the ID of 1. If you look in our database, our user Brad T, it has an ID of 1, and that can help hackers manipulate your site in certain ways. So we can click here, and we just want to click the change user 1 ID, and what that's going to do is just give us an ID of 2. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the database and show you or anything, but it just changes the ID from 1 to 2. Let's see, our table prefix. If you remember, we didn't use the default WP prefix. We changed it to something more secure. We don't have regular backups for our WordPress database. And for any production site, you definitely should put this in place. So let's actually do that. All we have to do is click the Enable Scheduled Backups. Choose the interval. You can do it from hours, days, or weeks. So I would say every week do a backup. Okay, send my backups by email. We can choose to do that. I'm going to uncheck that. And then the email that you want them to be sent to, and then the number of backups that you'd like to keep on your server. I'm just going to change this to 3. Alright, so that's basically a backup solution right there. Let's see what else we got here. Your WordPress admin area is available 24/7. Do you really want this open 24 hours a day? So if we click on this, we can actually enable away mode, and what that's going to do is we can set a certain time of day that the admin area is just not accessible to anyone. Alright, we can do this as a one-time thing, and we can also do this daily. So maybe you have a site that only you run, and it's a part-time thing, and you work 8-hour shifts, so you might want to disable the admin area for that 8 hours that you're at work, if you know that you're positively not going to want to get into the admin area. So that's a really neat functionality about this plugin. Let's see what else we got. There's just a ton of stuff you can do here. You're not blocking known bad hosts and agents with hackrepairs.com blacklist. So if you want to sign up with hackrepair.com, you could do that. You can also ban users. You can ban them by individual IP addresses or by an IP address range. And so that's pretty easy to do. You can also ban certain user agents. Your WordPress admin area is not hidden. This is something that you probably want to do. Let's actually do that. Everybody knows that the default WordPress admin login is at WP admin or wplogin.php, and we can change the links here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's enable the hidden backend, and let's say we want the login to be my login, and it gives you the URL right here, and we'll have my register, and the admin link will be my admin. Alright, and then you get a secret key that you can use to actually, if you want to use the standard login, the standard link. So let's save those changes, And you can see it gave us a security key. You might want to copy that and put it somewhere. But you can see our logins have already changed too. So let's grab the admin URL and let's go ahead and log out. Alright, so now if we try going to the standard wplogin.php, it just goes to a not found. Alright, so our new login is going to be techguystaging.com/blog/myadmin. So you can see it's now redirected to the wplogin.php along with the authorization code. Okay, so this is very helpful in diluting hackers from your site. We can go ahead and log back in. And this blue line up here that keeps showing up, it's just my password manager. Trying not to pay attention to it. It's just asking if I want to save passwords or not. And that actually goes back to the topic of if if password managers are actually secure, which I believe they are. So I do use one, but if you want to use one, just do some research on the different available programs. Alright, so let's go back to our security area. So this is basically where you're going to admin all your security. This is a really nice plugin. Let's see, htaccess is not secured. Okay, so what this does is actually adds certain htaccess code into the file, much like we did manually. And let's choose to do some of this stuff here. Filter, request methods. See, there's warnings with each one. Depending on your WordPress setup, you might have some problems. For now, I'm just going to choose to disable directory browsing. But you can mess around with the different options. Alright, so let's see what else we got here. Your installation. Your installation accepts long URLs. This can lead to vulnerabilities. So we can prevent long strings and long URLs. But again, it could cause conflicts with some plugins and themes. Reduce comment spam. We'll do that. Remove WordPress login error messages. I don't think there's a need to do that. So a lot of this stuff you really don't need unless you have a very top secret website. If there was some kind of government site or something like that. Let's see. Alright, so look here. wp-config and htaccess are both writable. We don't want that. We want them to be secured. So let's remove write permissions from those two files. Alright, so let me see. Anything we missed? Prefix. So our prefix is already fine. If you have the WP prefix, then you want to change that. Hide. Again, this is just where we changed around our links to our admin and login pages. If you have SSL, you can force that all the time if you want. Login. Here we can limit our login attempts, much like we did with the other plugin earlier in this series. And it has pretty much has the same options. The lockout time, things like that. So if you want, you can enable that and even uninstall the other one. It's nice to have one center for one central place to do all this stuff in. So let's see what's on the Tweaks tab. So more file protection. Yeah, just pretty much htaccess type of stuff. I think that we've done, what's this here? Non-administrators can see all updates. Okay, hide plugin update notifications. Alright, we can do that. We can hide these notifications from other people. And I think that'll do it. So our site is definitely more secure. And down here you can see all your system information, the IP address you're connecting to, all the folders and file names. Tells you if the htaccess and the config file are writable, database information, server information, PHP information, Wordpress, and then down here it actually shows our htaccess file. So that's it really. That's pretty much how you can centralize all your security in one place. There are other plugins like this one, but this one's my favorite personally. You might want to check the other ones out as well. But I will see you in the next section.